Welcome to J-Speak. This week we are going to cover a question and why I love and hate orange amps. So we'll address the question first. So the question was, is the Friedman Runt 50 good at bedroom volumes? Absolutely. It has a great master volume on it. So you can get some really dirty, awesome rock tones at very low volume. Now, there obviously is a difference between running an amp at full tilt and then running at low volume. You're not going to get the speaker push if you're using a cab. You know, that extra air and volume in a cab that builds up and pushes out when something is turned up. You also don't get the amount of power tube saturation. And it also has the emulated cab sim. So you can go straight out and use that. So technically, I mean, for an all-around amp at 50 watts, to use it like that is awesome. So I think at some point I'm going to do a demo with the Runt 50 with the cab sim out, and then probably take a look and compare it to maybe the Triple Crown or the Mark V, since they have the cab sim too. So that'll be interesting. Look out for that one. Orange amps, as you know, I am a big fan. There's a couple of things I don't like, but there's a lot of things that I do like. So let's cover the bad first. What I hate is the weight. Some of their amps are extremely heavy. Their cabinets are extremely heavy. Now, that's not to say they are the only amp manufacturer that has this issue. The Mesa 412s are ridiculously heavy. Most 412s are very heavy, or just built to withstand a ton of abuse, which is great from a road perspective, but do most of us need a 412 while gigging? Probably not anymore. A lot of venues don't even want to see a 412, nor is there space really, and you have to turn them backward, and you know, the sound guy is going to yell at you because you're too loud. Now, some of the heads are extremely heavy. When you're talking, say, a Friedman or some of the Mesas are really light, and Friedman's, from my experience, are pretty light. You know, Fenders, oranges are heavy in general. Now, like the 8030 is pretty light, but the Rock Reverb, that's pretty heavy. The OR is pretty heavy. So here's another gripe I have with Orange, is that they'll make a series of amps, but they're not necessarily the same. Perfect example, the OR series. So you have the OR15, the OR50, and the OR100. It's technically all the OR series. However, the OR15 is a single channel amp, the OR50 is a single channel, and the OR100 is a twin channel. Now, I don't have a lot of gripe about that, because due to wattages, this, that, and the other thing, whatever. Because one of the things I love about Orange might be why two are a single channel and one is a twin. So the big differences between like the OR50 and the OR100 is that the OR100 has a gain boost. It's obviously two channels, and it has the power switching ability of running 100 watts, 70 watts, 50 watts, and 30 watts, whereas the OR50 is a straight 50 watts, period. It has the HF drive, which the OR100 does not have. So the difference between the two channels is very different. Another difference in the OR series is that the OR15 and the OR100 have effects loops. The OR50 doesn't. I've done a comparison with the OR50 and the OR100. You can get them to sound pretty similar. You would need multiple OR50s to compete with the OR100 in a gig setting, which the OR100 does not have a mid-control in the clean, but the OR50 does. So continuity between the series would be helpful. So like the TH30, TH100, the Thunderverbs, the 50 and the 200. Why do we go from 50 to 200 watts? Why isn't there a 100 watt version of the Thunderverb series? Now, the bad thing is the price. The price of some of those heads are pretty expensive when you look at the amount of options you get with an Orange head. Now, granted, a lot of these are made in the UK or China, so you're paying to get it over here. I mean, transportation's expensive, so you're paying for some of that, whereas like a Mesa over in Europe is, I'm sure, just ungodly, because it's already $2 or $3 grand here in the States, and they're made in California. Now, the things I love about Orange, I love that they're orange. They stand out. I'd say, what, 90% of the entire market is black. Mesa and Fender will change grow cloth, do something kind of aesthetic on the front that makes it look a little different, other than just black everywhere. You know, your Friedmans have like the cool goldish weave. But yeah, most of the market uses black Tolex. So it's nice to see another color other than black. So orange pops on stage. So continuing with the look, because that's one of the things I love, is the look of orange amps. You've got picks only, which I think is actually really neat. It's just different. You know, you get tired of seeing master, presence, gain. I love that they're basically the same size. Most of the heads, the most, are roughly the same size, whereas like Marshalls are obscenely large. Like the heads are just huge. Just huge. And then Mesa will make like the Road King and then the Triple Crown. I mean, yeah, you can run a lot more stuff in the Road King. Like none of them sit uniformly, right? I mean, most Mesas are around the same size, but oranges are much closer. Now, Aid, the lead designer, actually brought this up at one point in an interview, saying that he just wants to cram everything into the same space, which I think is very nice and appreciated. Now, the tone of an orange amp, to me, it's just really organic. I am very pleased taking my guitar and plugging straight into an orange. That makes me happy. Not to mess with a bunch of effects to make it sound this way or that way. It sounds very organic. The dirt channels can sound a little compressed sometimes. You get nice mid-lows with orange, and you can really do a lot of unique things, I think, with that brand, just because of where the EQs naturally sit. I also think that they sound really good because there's just less going on. So it's not going through a million different switches, a million different modes. I love Mesa amps, but you gotta wonder, by the time they go through 3 modes on a 3-channel amp and you've got like 9 possibilities, pre and post EQs, effects loops, reverbs, just an insane amount of little switches and gadgets and options, which are awesome, how much of that is affecting your guitar tone when you go all the way through the amp? In general, I think orange is just like a plug and play. It's gonna sound good. You're not gonna have a lot of issues with them. They're built like tanks, which is another thing. They are sturdy amps, which that might be some of the weight. One of the things I like, though, is that orange started incorporating, especially in the Mark III, had the power scaling, the attenuator function, there's reverb, an effects loop. That's a pretty action-packed amp. In general, those are some of the things that I both love and dislike about orange amps. I'm sure there's more. What do you think? If you have a question or comment, feel free to leave it. And also, if you have a demo request, let me know. Many more videos to come. Don't miss one sub.